Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. My name's Carter. Nate is joining me once again for this, well, for us it's Sunday, for you guys Monday, so happy Monday, I guess, everybody. Or Tuesday, for our Tuesday listeners.
Are Mondays happy? I guess it depends on what you got going on your Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Some people, they work mostly weekends, so their Monday is like a Wednesday. They work like Wednesday to Sunday, I guess. So could be someone's Saturday on this Monday, I suppose.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So, but, whatever day of the week it feels like for you, whether it's your Wednesday or your Monday or your Saturday, then happy Monday.
All I know is that Monday it just means that there's only 2 days left until I can watch the next episode of The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian.
There you go. Yeah.
It's like I'm that much closer. I'm that much closer.
So to you, Monday is like Star Wars hump day.
Kinda, I guess. I guess that would be the Friday or Saturday would be. But yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking because like a lot of people like Fridays, like they still have work to do, but in the evening they know they got nothing. So like for you, Wednesday is like you still got classes and podcasts and stuff, but then afterwards you get to watch Mandalorian and Bad Batch. So
yeah, exactly.
So that makes Monday like your Wednesday.
Later into the night.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways,
good time.
Happy day of the week to everybody listening, whatever day of the week it is.
Happy day that ends in Y.
Yeah. There we go. Very, very inclusive of us there.
Exactly. Okay. Before we get started about anything, we know what this season is all about, right?
Tanking for Bedard?
Exactly.
Okay.
The WHL season is finished now. So let's just give everybody an idea of Connor Bedard this season. All right?
Okay.
Connor Bedard this season scored 71 goals and 72 assists for 143 points this year with the Regina Pats.
71 goals, 72 assists. Damn.
Yeah, 104 and for 143 points.
Isn't the season only like 72 games?
It's 68 games.
Oh, it's 68 now. Okay, so that's even more impressive.
And we'll add one more layer to it. Connor Bedard didn't play all 68 games because he also went and played in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard did this all in 57 games.
Holy shit. That's 2 points a game.
Yep.
Is that not?
Something like that.
143 and 57?
Yeah.
Oop. Crashed my calendar and started downloading an app or calculator. I mean, sorry, 153 divided
143.
43. 143 divided by 57. Oh, that's 2.5 points a game. Jesus.
So now, just because, Bedard's supposed to be a generational talent.
Yeah.
Let's look back at the last generational talent, whose name was also Connor, that everyone's pretty familiar with.
I was hoping you would say Connor because I thought just to like trigger me, you might say Austin Matthews. So thank you for not doing
No. So let's take a look here at Connor McDavid's last season with the Erie Otters in the OHL. So Canadian Hockey League, the leagues play fairly similar, I would say.
Yeah.
So let's take a look here. So this was the 14-15 season where Connor McDavid was the captain as well at 17, turning 18 that year, which is not normally heard of.
I mean, was that not his third season in the OHL with?
Yeah, it was because he had the exceptional status that got him in 2 years early.
This would be Bedard's third season though, too, right? Because he also got exceptional status. So,
but I think let me double check here because the 2021 season he only got to play in 15 games because remember there's all the weird stuff going on with COVID.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So McDavid's last season in the OHL, regular season, not playoffs yet. McDavid picked up 44 goals and 120 points in 47 games.
100 and how many points, sorry?
120 and 47.
120 and 47. So 2.55 points per game. So very, very similar to Bedard. Just a little better, but very similar. Yeah.
Wouldn't you want Connor Bedard on your team when you see what Connor McDavid does every night?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I think every NHL team wants Connor Bedard anyways, but this
But
just
when
is
you
like another
compare it like
layer.
that,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Connor Bedard willing the Regina Pats to a sixth seeded spot in the WHL playoffs for the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And
Like pretty much single-handedly, because there's not a lot of other players on, like there is, like there's
yeah,
obviously players, but like
like let's put it this way, like by like around Christmas, I remember looking at the standings and Regina was way out kind of thing. And that's why there was
yeah.
talks about him potentially getting traded out of Regina to, set up the team for the future and that kind of thing. But basically the owner or the GM saying like, Bedard's the reason that we have even people coming to as many games right now as we do,
Yeah.
essentially. So, yeah. So if we take a look at the standings here for the WHL. For the Eastern Conference, the Regina Pats will be playing, I believe, the Saskatoon Blades, who finished the season with 101 points compared to the Regina Pats 72.
Damn.
So I'm not even going to say the Regina Pats
Yeah.
have some work to do. Connor Bedard has
Yeah.
some work to do in order
Yeah.
to get to the Regina, in order to get the Regina Pats into the second round.
Oh yeah.
But goddamn,
Yeah. No, it's like,
wild. That's wild.
yeah. Well, I mean, I remember when we were talking about him and like what he's doing kind of so far in the CHL. I guess it would have been just after the World Juniors, like it was probably January, like late January, early February. The Pats were out of a playoff spot and kind of looked like they weren't gonna make it. Like it was still possible, but they were, significantly back from that eighth spot in the conference. I just kind of what I remember. So we were like, oh yeah, like he probably won't make it. Like he doesn't really have the supporting cast around him. But yeah, then he just kind of willed them into the playoffs. So it's quite impressive, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, and just another little quick update, just while we're talking about the WHL as well. Olin Zellweger on the Kamloops Blazers. Remember, he got traded there at the WHL trade deadline for arguably one of the biggest in terms of like what went either way.
Yeah.
Like the amount of pieces, biggest trade in honestly probably CHL history. And when you consider how long that like the entity has been around and how many players go through it and that sort of thing, right? That's pretty damn wild. Yeah, the Kamloops Blazers finishing second in the Western Conference, first in their division, in the BC division there, with 103 points. And if I'm reading this right, they will be playing the Vancouver Giants in the first round. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's also, I think, 4 prospects right now. I'm not as familiar with college hockey, but I think there's 4 Ducks prospects right now in the Final Four, Frozen Four there.
Okay.
I think one of them's Jackson Lacombe, and I'm trying to remember who the others are. So just while we're talking about, younger prospects that aren't in the league yet or that kind of thing. But
yeah, no, for sure. I was trying to look at like the oh, here we go. Okay, so yeah, in terms of the this is just in the WHL from Quant Hockey. Points per game all time in this league. Connor Bedard currently sits 18th with his 2.022 points per game in a season.
Jeez.
Yeah, in a single season.
What would he be for like all-time points?
Oh no, sorry, this is career. Oh yeah, no, this has 134 games played. So yeah, okay. No, this is his in his career. All-time points.
Points overall.
Very, very, very low, just because there's guys like career WHLers, I guess, that have played like just way more games. And
I guess with the 2021 season only getting 15 under his belt.
Yeah, so the record is in 343 games, Brian Sakic had 591 points. And just for context,
Jesus, 591 points?
Yeah.
For Even for a junior, geez, because like you only get like 4 years there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 343. So if he played,
Damn.
yeah, 72, I think is what it probably would have been back then. So almost 5. So yeah, 4.75 years. So yeah, would have played almost 5 years in terms of games. But yeah, so 343 compared to Bedard only playing 134.
Yeah.
But he had 271 points. So like
134 games.
yeah, so like when you're comparing seasons and careers in the junior leagues, like you kind of have to look at points per games played because like games played is just like all over the
So
place.
random. Yeah, exactly. This is probably my favorite stat though. He is exactly 1-for-1 goal per game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of neat.
134 goals in 134 games.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of teams that could use Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
But because this is a Ducks podcast, we're going to put it in that perspective. And this is the type of player, like generational or not, like just this type of a balanced player, I guess, on goals and assists that the Ducks really need.
Oh, for sure.
And that we've been talking about for the last few years, right? So
yeah,
the fact that we have a chance at him right now, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And just for those curious as well, it's highly unlikely we'll see the Blazers and Olen Zellweger face off against the Pats and Connor Bedard because they're in different conferences. So the Pats would have to go like all the way, and they would either have to meet in the WHL finals, or they would meet in, or the Pats would have to like win the WHL and then meet the Blazers in the Memorial Cup because the Blazers are hosting, so they're guaranteed a spot, which is kind of neat that we'll get to see Zellweger play at that level with the Blazers, like no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And it'll be televised, so like we can actually watch it too. So it'll be cool.
From a marketing standpoint, though, for the WHL in particular, obviously you're not going to try to rig games, especially at the junior level, right?
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. But again, all Regina would have to do, like this is, both sides had to play out perfectly. Kamloops gets to the final. Whoever plays Kamloops in the final at that point, win or lose the WHL championship, they play in the Memorial Cup, right? So you just have to get Regina to the final.
So Connor Bedard just has to will them to 12 wins in the first 3 rounds.
Exactly.
Which like doesn't
and then you get
sound
Connor,
crazy.
And then you get Connor Bedard playing in the Memorial Cup as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Connor McDavid got to do, did he?
No, he didn't. No.
So, and like you would have 2 incredible parts of the Memorial Cup in terms of the WHL, right? Where you get Kamloops and how they've been doing, and the guys that they picked up who have been winning. They got like a few of the guys have 2 World Junior Championship medals under their belt, and there's like this stacked team. And then the other WHL team is probably somebody that you wouldn't have expected there, except for Connor Bedard, being the sole reason that they're there, right? So you could have like some really cool storylines coming out of that, I think. So
yeah, for sure.
But,
yeah. So yeah, the Pats are facing, I believe the Red Deer Rebels. Is that? Who are, because they're 3rd in the conference, but 2nd in their division because it's the old thing where the top 2 of the division get spots 1 and 2, and then so it's kind of weird that way, but.
You know what? Let me just instead of like trying to guess from the standings, let me just do a quick search on Twitter or something.
Yeah, look for like the bracket or something. Yeah, they probably have a playoff bracket up by now, you would think.
Yeah.
So,
Regina will be playing Saskatoon in the first round there. The first game is on next Friday.
Saskatoon. Okay. Yeah.
They'll play Saskatoon.
Yeah, I said Red Deer, so not even close. So yeah, we'll kind of update, I guess, as we're going through. So I guess by next week, like not this Wednesday, but like the following Wednesday, the first 4 games will be done. So maybe we can slide. Oh no, I guess the 4th game will be going on then. I don't know. We'll find a point to slide some some WHL updates in, just because Connor Bedard and the Ducks season is very close to being over, so we'll have to fill some time with Bedard talk as we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just looking to see if the Blazers as well also put out their schedule.
Oh yeah,
for the first round.
Yeah, they're facing the Vancouver Giants. Game 1 is Friday, March 31st.
Oh, as well. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
sweet. And I'm glad I got it right that they were playing Vancouver. Cool.
Yeah,
I read that right. Look at me go.
Nice. So yeah,
look, Mom, I can read.
Yeah, right. So that's what's going on there. I guess we should maybe get into some Ducks talk and just we started with Connor Bedard, and then we're going to show the process of how we're getting to Connor Bedard.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's head there. Game 72 of the season, Ducks and the Winnipeg Jets, a 3-2 loss for the Anaheim Ducks. Lucas Dostal was in net, had a pretty solid game, but besides that, wasn't the most exciting to me. It was really just to watch Dostal. That's kind of the best part of it, in my opinion. So,
and I think he's kind of the only guy that really showed up, I guess, for this game.
Yeah,
mind you, Winnipeg is a team that is. The West is so tight for the playoff race right now that Winnipeg beating Anaheim, I think, put them within 3 points of third in the Central. But they're also 4 points from the next team at the moment, I think, in the Calgary Flames, in terms of getting knocked out of the wild card spot.
Yeah.
Which they hold second. So it's tight, tight goings here. But so Winnipeg's got something to play for, obviously, and they're not going to take too kindly to the Ducks. But Winnipeg's also, I think, been they've had some close games with some of the we'll just say lesser teams over the last couple of games here as well.
Yeah.
They had Anaheim. They just beat Arizona on the Tuesday as well, 2-1.
Yeah.
And now just lost to the Kings on Saturday there 4-1. So coming up, they got Detroit and San Jose this week. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. Really, just the wild card race in the West.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's nice that we actually have a race going on this year in both conferences.
Yeah, because a small losing streak of say 3 games for any of the wild card teams,
screw it for everybody.
Could ruin their season. Yeah, exactly. Especially if the teams around them are win, say, those 3 games too. It's that tight.
Yeah.
And even the teams at the top, top 2, top 3 of the division aren't safe either. They're just ahead of those wild card teams. So, they can easily drop down into the wild card or even out of the playoffs, depending on how badly things go. So.
Yeah, exactly. You take a look at the top 3 for let's take a look at the top 3 for the Pacific. It's a little bit wider, but it's right now, at least on Sunday afternoon, 98 points for the Vegas Golden Knights in first spot, and then in third in the Pacific is the Edmonton Oilers at 91. The Central is really tight, though. It's only a 3-point difference between first and third. Minnesota with 93, Colorado with 90, which we knew that as soon as Colorado had some of their guys come back from injury, right? Then we were going to see the Colorado Avalanche that we all expected.
Yeah.
They got really, they what happened to them basically is what we were thinking would happen to the Boston Bruins early on this season.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and the Boston Bruins decided to tell everybody, not just us, everybody, fuck your predictions. We're just going to go for it anyway. So,
yeah, it's just nuts. Yeah.
So just that kind of context in mind, though, at least for the Winnipeg Jets, you can see that this team was out there doing their damnedest. They put 14 high danger shots on Lucas Dostal. The 3 goals were all high danger ones against, just in terms of location and that kind of thing. And The one thing I was noticing out of this game, and it'll come with a bit more time too, right? Is just Dostal's got uh, a very fast rebound, I guess, that comes off of his pads, especially,
Mhm.
and just has to, just get a little bit better at directing where that goes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, just basically his rebound control.
Mhm.
That kind of led to a couple of these goals, but at the same time, the goalie can't be doing everything, right? You do need your defenseman to give you a hand every now and then, and that sort of
Mhm.
thing. And
Yeah, to
uh,
either box out the guys that are there for the rebound or to
yeah,
take the nice juicy rebound from the slot and clear it into the corner or something like that. And
yeah,
we
and
weren't really seeing that. So
no, not at all. So yeah, Dostal putting up a 909 save percentage in this one and a .65 goal save above expected,
yeah, pretty
coming
good.
from natural stat trick there. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
looking good, but and it was a good goalie battle, actually, I found, for this game, especially,
Mhm.
like, kind of, it felt like low shots compared to what we see the rest of the season, right? Like, of 40, 50 some against sometimes.
Yeah.
The Jets getting 33 shots on net, the Ducks getting 20, which that's about right. But that's kind of a battle sometimes for the other goalies too, right? Because you're trying not to uh, like lose interest, basically,
Mhm.
or that kind of thing, right? So
Or
Connor
to lose
Hellebuck,
focus even. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Connor Hellebuck putting up a 900 save percentage there, basically just doing his job. He finished off with a negative .05 goal save above expected, so just
Mhm.
right where he should have been. And the thing that I noticed after looking at Hellebuck's stats, though, and like going through the highlights and that again, it was just the the Ducks offense just not there, not really able to push too deep into Winnipeg's defense, which, like,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, is good, but
Yeah.
it's not fantastic, I guess. Like, it's
Mhm.
it's it's good enough, I guess we'll say. Um,
Yeah.
but the Ducks only got 2 high danger shots
Yeah.
on Connor
So
Hellebuck in
so
this
so it didn't
game.
really test him too
Yeah, it
much.
didn't
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't test him too much,
Which
so
if you're gonna beat the
Connor
Jets and
Hellebuck,
Connor
you
Hellebuck, you
gotta
have to test him that
yeah.
way. So yeah.
Um, and just for those wondering as well, 5 medium danger and 2 low danger shots against. So, and it was those. This is kind of what I was referring to in terms of the, um, you got to make sure, like, you're, like, the mental game is there basically for Connor Hellebuck, right? Not getting sorry, you had said the word that I was thinking of, not losing interest, but
Focus.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, 2 low danger goals against. So the Fowler one in particular is one that kind of comes to mind, um, for a number of different reasons. It works for the offense of Fowler literally did that himself.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there was traffic in front that definitely contributed,
Mhm.
but Fowler took it from pretty well the corner to Hellebuck's right
Mhm.
and brought it up all the way around to the left, like, to Hellebuck's left side at the blue line before
Mhm.
taking that wrist shot. And, like,
Yeah.
wrist shots from the blue line don't normally go in, especially, go in top corner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, Even with traffic in front, right? Like, that's
Hmm.
normally a type of shot that a defenseman will take for, giving, like, a rebound chance or something
Yeah.
like
Or
that.
getting
So
tipped. Like it never goes in clean or very
yeah,
rarely goes in clean. Yeah.
yeah,
Can't say
exactly.
never because it happened here, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was
So
kind of wild. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Fowler's 10th goal of the year. He's got
Mhm.
43 points in 73 games this year. 73 after the St. Louis game, I guess.
Mhm.
Um,
Which is pretty good for him. Like you don't really expect big numbers points wise from Fowler. But
yeah,
it's this year um
it's kind
he's
of
really
coming
picked it up, I guess. Yeah.
it's kind of come in spurts for him, though,
Yeah.
right? Like, kind of, like, even for this, like, this is his first point in 4 games. So back to March 15th against the Islanders, which, like, that's not a long time, but it's long enough for a guy like Fowler who plays as much as he does and
Yeah.
contributes just in general as much as he does.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
at the time of this game, because that was Thursday, which would have been the 23rd. So like a week.
Yeah,
So like
yeah, a little,
in
like, about a
yeah.
week and a day or so.
Yeah, which as
Um,
you said was first point in 4 games. So yeah.
yeah. And then that was also like we know he's not a goal scorer per se, right? But it was, again, like the goals kind of came in bunches. That was his first goal in 17 games. The last goal he scored was February 15th against the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh yeah. So
That
that's
was a while ago.
a while. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and speaking of goals, Vetrano got his second goal of the game as well. Back-to-back games with goals for him, and gave him 2 goals and 3 points in his last 5 games there. So, yeah, really, that was kind of all, like, what actually went in was kind of all the offense I felt like I saw out of the Ducks kind of thing. It was just,
Yeah.
okay, here's the height of it, and luckily you scored on it. Otherwise, this game could have been a little bit different, I feel like. So, and
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
yeah. So,
the one thing, just going back to the goalies, I guess Dostal more so in particular, but just from your perspective as a goalie, I just want your opinion on like how Dostal plays like in his net. So a little bit of stats. Dostal is 6'2", 174 pounds, and he's 22 years old, so he's still got time to fill out a little bit.
yeah, and goalies aren't necessarily like the guys that have to fill out, I guess.
No, not necessarily, but
who I want to say it was Sergei Bobrovsky. I remember reading this article a few years ago that like he was talking about how he had put on like a fair bit of muscle and that kind of thing. It was a lot stronger for sure, but he found actually like he and his trainer and nutritionist, I think it was, had found that like the amount of muscle that he had put on actually was actually slowing him down. And so he dropped, I think it's dropped something like 20 pounds of muscle or that kind of thing, and had like a brilliant season the next year. So, but
yeah,
we have talked before about Bobrovsky, good season, bad season, good season, bad season. So that lined up nicely. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just for goalies, it's not like forwards are, let's talk about like Trevor Zegras for a quick second, and Pat Verbeek's comments, right? About just him putting on some more muscle and some more weight, right? Just to be able to battle against the defenseman and that kind of thing, right? Goaltenders don't necessarily need to do that so much, right? So, like I'm pretty sure, and he hasn't even played a game this year, but like, Robin Leonard is like one of the, in terms of like body weight, like size kind of thing, is one of the bigger guys. And I want to say he's like 225, 230 maybe. But he's like the far end kind of thing of size, I guess, in terms of
6'4", 250. Yeah, so he's a big boy.
250, Jesus 250,
Christ. Yeah. And just for comparison too, because I brought up Hellebuck, he's
he's a fairly lean guy too. Like he's not like shredded, but he's not.
Who, Leonard? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're 6'4", like you got
he's fit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Hellebuck is also 6'4", 216, but he also like plays like a bigger goalie too, and like 216 is pretty big. I mean, this might not mean anything to our listeners, or even much to like the people that watch us, because like you really only see like the top half of me. But I'm 6'1", so just an inch shorter than Dostal. About 200 pounds. If I like, actually actively work on, keeping like eating well and like exercising and stuff, generally I'll sit around like that 180 mark. So like a little bit shorter, a little bit heavier than Dostal's. So like Dostal's pretty, and like I'm generally like slimmer, like I wear like the slimmer fit clothing. Yeah. So like, it just like seems, I guess, not like weird, but if I was to play goalie, like I would really have to make myself big and like really challenge a lot, and like, I don't know, like I guess like stick my arms out more, just to like, not like intimidate the shooter, because that makes me sound like a peacock, but like,
space.
Yeah. So, but like with Dostal, I just found that, and maybe it's just because in comparison to Hellebuck, like Hellebuck is just a bigger goalie, like at 6'4", 216. But I just found like Dostal was just so small. Like his legs were together, and like when he bends down, I'm like, he just like looks like just like this little ball of a goaltender. And he also plays not like deep in his net, but not he doesn't come out and challenge like say maybe Gibson um, does, and even Gibson's not like a big challenging goalie. But I just found like Dostal looked very small, and he's athletic, so like that kind of makes up for his I
Yeah.
guess lack of not like lack of size, but lack of presence in the net. But again, I'm not a goaltender. I don't really know the strategy behind it or anything like that. But as a I don't know, I guess shorter goaltender yourself, or just from what you've seen from Dostal playing, like, do you think he would benefit more from like challenging and making himself bigger and like being more at the top of his crease or even just outside the crease, like challenging shooters, or like what? Just because I think the goals against here, if he was just out a little bit more
Mhm.
challenging the shooter, like he might have had a better chance at saving them. But that's kind of just me. So
It does kind of depend on a few different things. Like the scenario right around you obviously varies,
mhm.
and determines kind of where you are relative to the net, right? Challenging far out or a little bit deeper, that kind of thing. But it also is your movement, and that's something that Dostal is like. I feel like he's close, but he's not quite where he should be in terms of speed just yet,
Mhm.
and movement. But like I said, it'll come, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see him like if you were to watch like Gibson and Dostal side by side,
Yep.
you can see that Gibson is just able to move a lot faster, right? Like cross crease, up down, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, that'll come for Dostal, especially. And like, I feel like that's a decent comparison as well because their body types are fairly similar. Like you had said,
Mhm.
Dostal 6'2", 174, and then Gibson uh, is 210 at the same height, 6'2".
Yeah, and I mean he's a few years older. Well, obviously quite
Yeah,
a few
so
years
like
older, but
yeah,
like Dostal, remember he is only 22, so like it is going to
yeah,
take a little bit of time, like not to fill out, but like he is in a few years. I could see him pushing that 200-pound mark, just in terms of like muscle and just like filling out
yeah,
more in general, like kind of that second puberty in a way.
yeah. For me, it's more. It's not so much about like how he plays against, right? Because we've seen it works really well for him, right? And it all
Yeah.
depends on your play style too, right? Like, uh, I like there's definitely times where I challenge a little bit more maybe than like a typical goaltender would kind of
Hmm.
thing, right? But
Yeah.
it's knowing how I can play and looking at the situation and that kind of thing too. But yeah, I had to double check actually when I was watching this game because yeah, you're right. Like Dostal, it wasn't so much like the filling of the net.
Hmm.
It was like just from a height perspective, Dostal looked smaller to me for some reason. Like it
Yeah.
just kind of clicked, and I was just like, why does he just look small? And like I said, like he's the same height as Gibson and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So, but I think in terms of
It's just like his
there's
goalie stance, like or like posture in a way.
I
Like he's
yeah,
just
I think
playing a
it's
little bit smaller and like less. I don't want to say
yeah,
less confident, but like because he is newer in the NHL, he doesn't maybe have like the swagger that Gibson would, and like just
yeah, and it's also
punches over. Whereas Gibson's like, I'm the man. Like this is my team, and like so he just like stands a little taller in the net.
I don't even know if it's necessarily a confidence thing because every goalie does have their unique play style and stance and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's definitely different different elements that are more common, especially across professionals, right? Like uh glove placement more than anything, right? And
Hmm.
especially, having the trapper be like open to the shot instead of you got some guys who will kind of angle it, and that's kind of one thing that you get taught is like, like have it straight up kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um or whatnot, right? And uh but it's all kind of it's basically like a goalie's stance is as unique to him as a like the curve on a player's stick,
Hmm.
essentially, right? So no one's going to
Yeah.
be the exact same, but everyone's going to have like some similarities to somebody else,
Hmm.
I guess. So,
Yeah.
um,
So do you think Dostal would benefit more from like playing a more like not like stand up stance, but like just making himself a little taller in the net, or?
it all kind of depends because the the wider your stance goes, like I guess if I think of like a wide stance, I think of someone like Jonathan Quick, right?
Yeah.
Who he's definitely got the leg muscle, obviously, to be able to move, but the wider your stance is, the less balance, and I guess the less reload basically in your legs that you have in order to move,
Hmm.
right? So and if you watch Dostal as well, it like the wideness of his legs kind of does as well depend on the situation or that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
Dostal especially will play a little bit more of a narrow stance
I
for
did notice
wider
that too.
route and when he's moving a bit more.
Yeah.
Um, but when things are down in tight and he has to move a little bit less, he'll widen it out just so that it's easier to get down to the ice.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very situational, I guess. But
Hmm.
um, even though the height necessarily isn't there, uh, in my mind, they kind of like those all kind of play similar to UC Saros, who
Okay.
like there's not
Okay.
much of a height difference, but Saros is for an NHL goaltender relatively small at 5'11.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and
I mean, that's 3 inches. Like that's pretty significant, I
it's
would
it's
say.
it's enough for let's put it this way, it's enough that people were not drafting you unless your height started with a 6
Yeah.
for a while there. So
Hmm.
and I mean, hell, that's what led to I forget who the goalie was picked, and I don't even think he got an NHL playtime. But I remember they were talking this on an episode of Agent Provocateur with Alan Walsh. He's an agent in the NHL for like Marc-Andre Fleury and guys like that.
Hmm.
But one of the guys that he represents as well is Yarrow Halak, and found
Hmm.
out later that Halak, I think, was projected to, or like was being looked at, I think it was like the third round or something like that. And it was between him and some other goalie. And they were still having a debate about it at the draft table. And it basically came down to the GM going, okay, which guy's taller? And the other
Yeah,
guy
that's
was
right. Yeah, I
taller.
remember hearing
So
about that.
Halak
Yeah.
got left until the seventh or eighth round or something like that. So,
Hmm.
um, so like height does matter, but at the same time, see, like we've seen what UC Saros has been able to do, right? Like height's not the end all be all that some people thought it was. It just
Yeah.
it depends on your movement and your positioning and that kind of thing. So like
Hmm.
you can easily have, like, I know I've even played against guys who are like 6'5" or stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
But but me at 5'7", like almost a foot shorter than them,
Hmm.
is the one who's winning the games with, defenses playing similar and offenses kind of similar and that kind of thing, right? It
Yeah.
all just depends on, yeah, like that goalie and uh just how they're, I guess, like kind of like I said, like every goalie is individual, just with like elements kind of going across,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
um it's the same kind of thing, right? Like you have to take those individual elements and make them work for yourself, right?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. No, for
but
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Dostal has, I think, a great, not like, I guess, like assistant goalie coach in John Gibson in a way. And then obviously
Mhm.
there's the Ducks goalie coach too. So I think
A good role model there for sure, right? And
role
especially
model,
like
I guess, is a better,
like
that's the
TV
word. Yeah.
timeouts, right? Like you see those guys, when it catches, like when the cameras catch it, that kind of thing. You see
Hmm.
those guys talking to each other, right? And
Yeah, exactly.
especially the older goalies will kind of, give a point or something like that, right? They'll
Hmm.
be like, hey, like even just, like they're kind of watching as well what the offense is doing, right? Or like, hey, if this kind of happens, like this is what you need to do for like the defense kind of thing, like call
Yeah.
this out or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
They just have
So
a different perspective. So yeah, I
yeah.
think that in the off season and then like going into next season, I think Dostal will be set up quite well to improve his game even further. And like it's already pretty solid. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't like, if um, yeah, like say the Ducks were making the playoffs, Gibson goes down, like I would be confident in Dostal taking us like through the whatever, however far we made it in the playoffs, right? Or
Yeah.
even just like for the rest of the season or anything like that.
You
So
feel confident enough if in him that he's going to give you some games, kind of thing,
yeah, exactly. But
right? So and
obviously there
not
is
basically be
room
like
to
a
improve. So
liability.
Yeah, but I think he can improve his game in certain aspects, and there is those systems around him that can do that. And yeah, I think next year we're going to see some really solid performances from Dostal there.
Yeah. What I think is going to be really interesting is if we get a chance to get side by side Dostal and Gage Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
going to be
100%.
interesting
Yeah,
because I'll double check this, but I believe Alexander's like 6'5" or something like that, right? And
okay,
like
yeah,
he just uh he just looks more menacing just because of that height kind of
yeah,
thing. But um yeah, just to kind of compare those two kind of thing, like at the same level.
yeah.
Um
I think 100% we'll see them in training camp together. I don't think there's a way that Alexander misses training camp if he's healthy.
yeah, exactly. So
And yeah, I think I mean maybe for the Anaheim Ducks, we won't get a ton of content of those two together, but
yeah.
never know. So
Sorry, correction. Alexander's 6'6", so he's got like
okay,
4 inches on Dostal. So
yeah,
Dostal
yeah,
and Gibson.
yeah,
So,
yeah. There you go. So
but
yeah, okay, yeah. I just wanted to bring that up. Just it was something
yeah,
I noticed. So good to get your perspective on it since I don't play goalie. So um,
and I am a short fuck. So
yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, I guess moving on to the other game, the Ducks and the Blues, which was a 6-3 loss for the Anaheim Ducks. This just being on Saturday night. Um, yeah, I mean, it was very similar, I guess, for me and to the Jets game, in that like Gibson showed up, and then besides that, like the team wasn't really feeling it. Like the offense wasn't really there. The defense wasn't doing a whole lot. Like, yeah, we still got 3 goals, but it was against the Blues, who are a little bit stripped down, I guess, compared to
yeah,
when we saw them earlier in the season. So like,
they'll be loading back up in like the off season kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. So it was just a less exciting game in that way, and especially we didn't get a fight between Gibson and Binnington. So like, yeah, there was a couple like good moments in this game, I would say, but generally like it was just just another game, just going through the motions. It kind of felt like so.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing that I noticed though out of this game was just the fact that the Ducks were able to try to get a few more chances basically in tight.
Hmm.
Um if you take if you look at the heat map kind of thing, um it's actually like a nice bright spot here. I'll pull it up I guess while I'm talking about it here.
Yeah, sure.
Um where there we go. But like it's like we don't see this too often, like a nice bright red spot for the Ducks in particular.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
like right in front of the net
and
there.
not
Yeah.
it much like concentrated anywhere else kind of thing, right? So
Hmm.
um
Similar to the one we brought up for the Calgary game, I suppose,
yeah,
where there's a little bit of a distribution everywhere, but it is concentrated in right in front of the net in the slot where you want those shots to
which
be.
yeah, and which like with a system in place
Yeah,
uh and just some of the younger guys even a little bit better and just chemistry a little bit more there and bringing in an additional piece or two kind of thing that'll help that. It'll just overall get a lot better, and we'll hopefully see that more often than not.
and less of a blue spot on the other side for the
Yeah,
St.
hopefully,
Louis Blues
like on the
attempts.
defense side, yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and the Ducks got 2 of their goals in tight, as we can see here as well. So, um, yeah, this was a lot better of a offensive game, I would say, for the Ducks.
Hmm.
Even though it was only 1 extra goal compared to the game against the Jets, but defensively, I feel like it was a little bit it was less
Oh
somehow.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, six
Even
goals
like
against.
not
Yeah.
even yeah, like not even looking at the map, and to a point I was like, okay, a couple of those maybe Gibson should have had them, but at the same time I was like, he's just not really getting a whole lot of help, which like par for the course, it feels like for the
Yeah.
season. But like
Hmm.
just this game
We
more
did see
than
him stare down the
any.
bench a little bit too in this one.
Yeah, like, and we haven't seen that for a while. Like this game
Yeah.
felt there's the difference between no system and no help kind of thing, but you can see that there's an effort there.
Yeah.
and then just like no system and laziness kind of thing. It felt like
Yeah.
this game was a bit more on the laziness side. And I think I've been fairly good this season. I said I wasn't going to talk about the defense too much, right? Because it's otherwise I'd be the same thing pretty much every game. But
Yeah.
just this one in particular, it felt lazy, I guess. And I feel like
It did. Yeah.
Connor Bedard, why am I going right there? Uh, John Gibson kind of felt that same way too, right? Like with kind of
Mhm.
the stare downs and stuff like that
Yeah.
to his teammates. That again, like yeah, we haven't seen that in quite a while. I feel like
Oh yeah.
so,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, besides that though, like there was a lot of good things to come out. Actually, before we get to the good things, early on, Sammy Blay running John Gibson too. Like,
yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
that one I had a little bit of an issue with. I can see, he's coming in with speed and that sort of thing on a 2-on-1. You're trying to get the chance, but he collides with Gibson like right at the top of the crease, like very in tight. And it
There was like no
doesn't,
lateral movement either. He was coming down the
yeah,
slot and
it's
he did not attempt to change his. Yeah.
straight in kind of thing and runs into Gibson. Yeah, and again, very early on too. And now I know there's going to be some Blues fans that are going, well, Max Comtois did that just a few minutes later. Yes, you are right. However, there are differences here, and I am I am doing my damnedest to take a step back. Right,
Mhm.
I'm watching this as a goalie who has been run into,
Mhm.
right, and there's times where you feel like it's been a bit more intentional than others, kind of thing. Like I know there's even a picture of me for playing lacrosse in junior kind of thing. There's a picture of me like with my arm in front of one of the opposing players,
Mhm.
while the refs are separating like one of each of our guys kind of thing, because the one guy ran into me, I got bowled over, and
Mhm.
then my guy came in and started feeding at him, and then the other guy from their team was about to come in, and like I got up, I was fine. I just kind of held him back, and I'm just like, I like we don't need you even taking the penalty kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
I pulled one of those. Like I'll save you from this. Like, it doesn't need to happen. I'm good. Just let those two go, and we'll keep playing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, um, but for this one, and again, like we didn't really, from my recollection, didn't get like even much of a from Jordan Bennington, who is known for his reactions,
Mhm.
right? See last week against the Minnesota Wild and Hartman brushing against his skate with his kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like Bennington didn't have much reaction. Comtois is coming a bit more on the angle,
Mhm.
and uh, Torpachenko did kind of give him a bit of a push too, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, they're colliding in the same kind of spot, right? Like top of the crease kind of thing. But there's the angle. There's a little bit of a push there, and there's an effort from Comtois, like trying to get around is the
Mhm.
play,
Yeah.
right? Compared to Blaze, who is just right down the middle and like falling over Gibson, who he's colliding into,
Yeah.
right? So, and again, I'm taking a step back. Blues fans, if any are listening, are gonna call it bias, but I mean, I've officiated, very like in ways hockey and lacrosse and stuff like that for the last like 11, 12 years kind of thing. And uh, a lot of them they're teams that I know the kids on because I help coach them or something like that. I'm able to, and I think Carter can attest to this as well. I'm able to take a step back and not be biased. So,
Yeah.
and I feel like I've tried to convey that as much as I can on this show before, right? And
Mhm.
some of my takes about the team, even or that kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. So no.
so
Yeah, I agree. It was
that's my
different,
opinion on
and
them.
yeah.
Like, yes, both are collisions, but one is a lot less effort to get out of the way than the other. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, both guys got goaltender interference calls. So on the ice, it's even.
Yeah.
Call it at that.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. With that out of the way now. Very exciting night for Nikita Nesterenko getting his first NHL goal in just his third career NHL game and first point as well.
yeah,
But yeah, he maybe not the one or the way that we thought his first goal was gonna go, like the way it was looking, he was gonna be just like him walking into the slot and sniping it like just over the shoulder of the goalie. But instead he gets just kind of like a backdoor tap in off of a nice pass from McTavish, which I mean, it's your first NHL goal. You're not going to be mad about how it's scored, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't think anyone is. But yeah, maybe just a little bit different than we expected when we initially signed him. So
Yeah, and what a feed by McTavish as well. Just kind of the
oh yeah,
no look, like cross
shot
body
shot
pass
pass
kind of
kind of.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
over to Nestorenko there. So yeah, McTavish definitely setting him up beautifully for that goal. But uh, yeah, good on Nestorenko to pick that up as well as he did too, right? With how fast that pass was coming across and
Mm-hmm.
the pressure that kind of was starting to gain on him, right? Because the
Yeah.
Blues did realize pretty quickly, like, oh crap, like there's an open guy there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot faster than the Ducks defense would. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and starting off his career hot with a 16.7 shooting percentage. God damn.
Yeah.
It's a joke, everybody. It's not sustainable. I'm just having some fun here.
Is it? Are you sure?
It's no. I am very sure this is a joke. It's not sustainable.
What? We'll find out.
Oh, but yeah, playing 14:43 in this game. Yeah, looked good. He got some power play time as well. Got
Mm-hmm.
about a minute and a quarter there
Yeah.
on the power play. So he's getting looked at by Eakins and the rest of the coaching and executive staff, and it's
Yeah.
looking good so far. So I'm excited to
Mm-hmm.
see more of this kid. So like I
Yeah.
know I
For
sounded
sure.
negative on him uh when the trade happened kind of thing, right? And that was definitely more of a he was unsigned at the time. And just if he didn't sign, then it was kind of for nothing in a
Yeah.
way, right? And then it was okay, he got picked up. Let's see what kind of happens. And I know we've only seen 3 games out of him, and this is his first point, but I've liked his game so far, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
going to work really well for the future of this team. So if we're, if he's able to be around long term, so
For
he
sure.
he
Yeah.
does just have, if I'm remembering correctly, he has just next year before
Mm-hmm.
his contract's up, but he'll be an
He's
RFA
NCAA. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and be able to do something with him for the future. So
Yeah.
yeah, basically you just have to, like a lot of these young guys, right? You want to entice them to stay kind of thing and
Mm-hmm.
show that, we have a plan for you and like, we can see kind of the promise in you and that kind of thing and want you around long term like that. You got to convince those young guys, especially, right? So
Yeah.
because
Yeah. For sure.
there is such thing as, the offer sheets. And if somebody else sees it, right,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go for it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, other goals, I guess, to talk about in this game. Ryan Strome got another goal in the third goal and fourth point in his last 5 games, so he's going on a bit of a tear. Yeah, and I mean on this goal too, Trevor Zegras' pass, well, shot. I guess he was trying to score there off of
yeah.
the back of Binnington, but either way, like it got into the crease and was unexpected by everybody, and Ryan Strome just took a swing at it, and because he was standing there, and pretty easy goal for Ryan Strome, I would say, but someone's got to be standing there and get to the puck before the rest of the Blues do, but that goal attempt slash a pass attempt from Trevor Zegras was very nice to see.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just a prime example of, driving to the net and making your presence known basically
Mm-hmm.
in that slot area. So just something that we haven't seen a crazy lot, I feel like, out of the Ducks this year,
Yeah,
overall. So, and something that I know we brought it up quite a bit, right? And again, I'm at the point of the season where I'm just like we're definitely looking ahead to next year. Okay, like let's just, get some things to build off of, kind of like we did last year, I guess
yeah,
too.
yeah, and the year before that, and the year
Yeah.
before that.
I would say more so like last year compared to this year,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because of
We had a
the
fire sale.
yeah, and the official from remember like last training camp, like the official word from Bob Murray at the time of like, yes, we are like officially rebuilding
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? Whereas before it was okay, like this team needs to improve because apparently we're still just trying to retool, but this is sucking ass kind of thing. So
Yeah, exactly.
With the idea of the rebuild and like kind of seeing in like a way that this could be going now, like Verbeek's plan seems to be becoming a little bit more apparent, I feel like, to a lot of fans. Especially with him being as open as he has been about certain things, right? During like the membership interviews and stuff like that, right? And how even like the appearances that he's had on the what's the show called that they talk to Verbeek?
The Beak.
The Beak, yeah.
Yeah.
Like how many GMs are on even like a semi-scheduled basis, right? Like talking to their fans like that, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
it
not
is something
many, yeah.
nice. So like I know we've talked in the past of like we don't get a whole lot of information out of the Ducks and that sort of thing. And I'm sure it's going to kind of be that way. Like they're very pick and choose when they want to be, but something like that though is really nice just to like just kind of keep the fans involved, I guess. So it's not everyday type stuff, but it is still good to see. So
yeah, for sure. Do you have anything else about this game or?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think about this game in particular. So
Okay.
yeah, just a lot of not much help for the Ducks defense. Kind of to I know I said that already. Just kind of reiterate, wrap it up, conclusion, that kind of shtick. Yeah, it's not a whole lot of help there. Money Puck had the expected goals at 2.73 for St. Louis, so that shows the Ducks defense is really not helping their themselves, right, on the defensive play kind of thing. So because the goals that the Blues scored weren't like not to take it away from them, but like amazing goals, but like there was just a lot of
rebounds and dirty
walk-ins.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah,
not like dirty goals, but like greasy. Yeah, just
there's
nothing
two,
spectacular. Yeah,
I don't remember like which ones they were exactly, but there's like two goals I can recall that like guys just kind of walked in, did what they wanted, kind of thing before taking their shot. So with not a whole lot of pressure. So
yeah, no, I'd agree with that. So,
but at the same time, like don't make it a habit, but for the last 9 games that we got going, whatever helps the cause,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
29th is a good spot, but it's also not 2016 anymore. There's 32 teams, so you gotta it'd be nice to see, the Ducks in the top 3, I guess, or bottom 3 in hopes of being in the top 3.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess let's take a quick break. We've got a few bits of news to get through as well for this episode. But before we do that, we will hear from our friends at DraftKings, promo code THPN, and we'll see you in just a minute.
The biggest tournament in college basketball is underway, and the action is just getting started on DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Plus, combine multiple bets for a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odd boosts all tournament long, so be sure to check out DraftKings Sportsbook every day to see what they have in store. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with the code THPN. Right now, new customers can bet $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and get $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Again, that's promo code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
So, from Eric Stevens of The Athletic, it is now officially confirmed Jamie Drysdale will not be back this season with the Anaheim Ducks. The quote here: talked to Jamie Drysdale earlier this year as he was rehabbing from shoulder surgery. Held out hope to play again, but Dallas Eakins reconfirmed that the defenseman remains shut down for the season. Reasoning is him playing has more risk than reward at this stage. Quote from Eakins: That kid is a real key piece of our future. It would be different if we were a playoff team or something like that. End quote. So, kind of as we said, like why risk bringing him back if he's not 100%? Because we're not playing for anything meaningful, and at this point, him being out of the lineup actually benefits the team more because we're then, I guess, weaker defensively.
Yeah.
And so we lose more games and have a better chance at Connor Bedard.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'm happy, like not happy that Jamie's not quite ready yet, but happy that we're not trying to rush him just to get him into the last couple of games of the year, right? Just to get a couple more under his belt kind of thing. Just let him take the time to rest. I was more laughing at the fact that I think we talked about this on Wednesday. Somebody had asked us in the live chat about Jamie and that kind of thing. And this comes out the next day. I was kind of laughing at that. So I got, like what you said, I've got no insider knowledge on it necessarily. It was more just like what I was feeling and what I would do in that situation as Jamie, as, Verbeek and Eakins or something like that. And I'm glad that I'm not the only one who felt that way, that the actual people in charge are feeling that way too. So
yeah. I think our boy Eric here was listening to the episode and was like, oh yeah, maybe I should find out what's going on with Jamie there. Maybe I'll hit up Dallas Eakins and put something out on
Eric,
Thursday.
if you are listening, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd love to have you on. We can't find an email address or anything for you. We've been trying to reach you.
Hard to track down. Yeah.
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Other updates, I guess, coming from the team. Frank Vetrano was listed as day-to-day, not for an injury, though, because his wife, Rebecca, was having a baby. And
they were having a baby you could go with.
Yeah.
That's a
it just feels weird saying, like, oh, Vetrano is having a baby, because, like, he's not literally pushing anything out of his body. Well, at this stage, he's not literally pushing anything out of his body. He did that a while ago. So... anyways, quite cool. Just
what?
Don't worry about it.
I'm very confused now.
I'll explain to you how it works after.
Are you talking about him dropping a massive deuce or something?
No. It's 9 months ago what he was doing. So maybe not pushing it out of his body, but
Can you play the horns, please? Thank you.
Yeah. It's less funny if I have to explain it, I think.
I was just like lost. I'm like, the hell is he pushing out?
Anyways, let's just take this part from the top.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Vetrano listed as day-to-day, not because he was injured, but him and his wife, Rebecca, brought their first child into the world, named Ophelia. So congrats to...
Who sings that song again?
It's in there, and as soon as I hear the name, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, it's them."
Lumineers.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like that's shame on both of us for not getting that. But
I apologize to anybody if I now have that stuck in your head for the next week.
Yeah. Wonder if that's where the name came from. He's just like a huge Lumineers fan, or his wife
just love the Lumineers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
So, so Vetrano wasn't in the lineup against St. Louis, but good reason. And whenever I'm sure he'll be back soon. But go spend time with your wife. Go spend time with your kids. There's bigger things than hockey. So, and I know some people, especially some fans I've seen, just don't grasp that for some reason. But take the time to enjoy it. It's the birth of your child that happens only once, right? And
once per child, yeah.
Yeah, but per child, right? It only happens once.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
If you have two kids and the one kid finds out that you weren't there because you were, you just had to play for the 29th 29th team in the league that night kind of thing. Just I got to go to work instead kind of thing. That child might not be too happy about that later in life. So
yeah, exactly.
So just take the time, Frankie, and we'll welcome you with open arms when you come back. So, but in the meantime, congrats to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also Troy Terry left during the or after the second period of the St. Louis game due to a quote personal matter from Lisa Dillman on Twitter. So we don't know anything further than that at this point, but hopefully everything's okay with Terry and or his family, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of whatever. Yeah, we have no idea what it was.
Yeah, may not know, but as far as I know, he doesn't have a kid on the way. So
yeah,
I don't think it's that. But.
Lisa Dillman did check during the game kind of thing when it became apparent to her that, you know, Terry wasn't on the bench or that kind of thing. And the team had just said that it was a personal matter to her, and that's what she relayed. So that's where we're at right now. So
yeah.
And
so
how this works is we're probably going to be done this 2 hours later. We'll hear something. So
yeah, exactly. I am glad that it's not injury related because Terry has had a few injuries this year or even injury scares. So it's nice in that way, but also like when it goes to personal matter, you're like, oh man, like that also sucks.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, personal matter is pretty vague. Like it could also just mean he had to take a big poop. Like he ate a little bit of undercooked chicken and could just be that and
bad seafood before the game. Yeah.
Something like that.
It could be anything.
So. Could be something as minor, I guess, as that, or it could be as extreme as, you know, family emergency type stuff. So hopefully not that, but yeah, as you have in our outline and as I said earlier, like hope everything's all right there. So yeah.
So not expecting the worst, but just in case, you know, like just hope everything's fine. So
yeah, exactly.
Personal matters can be good things too, right?
Yeah.
So
and last little bit of news and personnel update here is the Anaheim Ducks and their team dog. And okay, you are bringing it up.
Oh, you bet I got pictures. You bet I got
everybody
pictures.
Have a look here at Daisy. Oh, this is Daisy. My.
She's adorable. How do I edit this to make it a bit bigger? You were doing this earlier, Carter.
Oh,
there we go. There we go. We'll make this as big as we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Get as much dog on this screen as we possibly can.
Oh, I can't move it over. Oh, wait, if I go. Oh, it just makes it smaller again. Oh, well, we got it. It's good enough.
Yeah. It's all good. We have the dog, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Just
this is
so
Daisy.
small. Look at those ears, man.
She's adorable. I don't know offhand what type of dog she is. I feel like it's a golden retriever.
It looks like some golden retriever or golden lab.
Something in there. Yeah, golden lab
retriever, maybe. Yeah.
Either way, she's got a beautiful little bandana with her name on it. She was, you know, playing around with some pucks and stuff like that. There's some videos out.
Yeah.
Long story short, I will fucking die for Daisy. I will kill for Daisy. She's adorable. And I can't wait to see more of her. So
yeah, it's
very good. It's cool because I think a lot of these dogs usually are
like from the like local shelter kind of thing. Like they're like rescues.
or they're like in training, I think, for to be like service dogs.
Oh yeah.
So it's always kind of cool to see you know, just like the team dog thing is a newer thing, and I love it though. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So
you might know the answer to this. Is there somebody like on the team that looks after the dog, like, you know, brings it home to them, like to their place, and then like brings them to the rink, or like is it shared, like, you know, like the classroom hamster that everybody gets a chance to bring it home for a week or a weekend or whatever, or it's just like someone from the shelter or someone from like the training facility just like brings it every couple days to hang out.
Yeah, I feel like it would be, especially with a dog, right? But different than a hamster, it would kind of have to have, you know, like more of a usual routine or something like that, and somebody specific to kind of attach to and that sort of thing. So I imagine it's one of the staff or that. But I know the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League, they have a league office dog. I think his name is Chaz.
Okay.
He's this big bulldog. And I think he's kind of shared, but is primarily had by one person. So it all kind of depends. But I would assume it's kind of, you know, one person more has him than anything, but like brings him to the rink, brings him to the office, or that kind of thing. So
that makes sense.
Or in this case, her. But I also just made the connection as well. Daisy, you got a little bit of the Disney history with the Anaheim Ducks in particular. You got Donald and Daisy.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, maybe I'm just drawing that one up. It might be something completely different, but it lines up either way. So,
yeah, no, that was
Daisy
my first
Duck,
thought
it
too.
works, right? So
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, either way, I will kill somebody for Daisy. So,
all right, noted.
if Daisy were to tell me, go do stuff to Carter, I will. Yes, without question.
All right.
Just so you're aware, Carter. If Daisy gives you the go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. No.
Adorable though.
Thanks.
Adorable.
Thanks for the heads up. Yeah. So cute. I hope we get more Daisy content.
Just makes me want a puppy more. My girlfriend really wants one. We have talked about it, kind of thing. And I think it was last summer. She was this close to coming home with a I think it was a German Shepherd puppy or a Shepherd mix. And I was the bad guy who had to say no. But it's because I was thinking about the dog. We live in a basement suite, so I'm like, a German, and we don't have a backyard. I'm like, a German Shepherd's not going to enjoy this so much. It's not going to be as good, I guess, for the dog kind of thing. So I'm like,
which is responsible. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the bad guy because I was trying to be responsible and think of the dog.
Yeah.
So
my girlfriend also sent me a dog, like one that like needs like a foster home or something like that. And she was like, "Oh my God, look!" And it, like this dog was adorable too. I don't even like remember what breed it was, and I was like, "Oh my God, yes!" And then like after a couple minutes, I was like, "Just to be clear, like no, we can't.
Yeah,
don't show up with this dog at our house. Like yes, it's cute, and I wish we could take care of it, but no, like it's not happening." So one day, one of us will just, come on to do the show and there will just be a dog in one of our frames. But today is not that day. So.
Yeah. I guess this in a way is me kind of having the conversation with my girlfriend a bit, but like she's made the thing that, like after we get married kind of thing, like whenever we have a kid, like she's kind of picked the name for the first kid. I've given up fighting that one.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of decided this, but I'm going to reaffirm it basically. Okay, she gets to name the first kid. I get to name the dog.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, and for me, I either got, if it's a boy, it's going to be Flurry. It's going to be Flurry.
Oh, okay.
But if it's a girl, it's going to be Flower.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
So, yeah.
Not that you couldn't name a boy dog Flower or a girl dog Flurry, but
no, but just, we'll do that. So.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're mad at the dog, you can say Marc Andre.
Yeah. Marc Andre.
Yeah. Then the dog knows. It's like, oh, it used a different name. Like I'm in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. My grandma always laughs because is about the time, or it's a little bit after that we started this show. I was living with my grandma for a year. Just lives in the same city kind of thing, and definitely cheap options. So, but she had also just gotten a dog, Jasper, and she always laughs though at the nickname I have for him whenever I walk in the door, right? And he'll, he's excited and that kind of thing, and just go, "Hiya, you little shite."
Yeah,
and she always laughs at it. Oh, but yeah. I'm sure I'd have some other name for whenever I get a dog.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a thing that, your pet has a name, but it also has like 4 or 5 other names that you call it. Yeah.
And it's like more responsive to those as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it probably enjoys them more because it's like, it's usually like when you're playing with them and be like, giving them love and affection and stuff, and they're just like so happy, and they get treats, and then when you use like their real name, they're like,
oh, what happened?
I fucked up. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have dug in the garden. Oh my God, no.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting in shit, AJ Greer recently got in shit from the NHL player safety department. And for a cross check on Mike Hoffman, I should actually probably bring up a clip of that for those.
Oh, that was the what? It was Boston and
Boston and is it Montreal? Is that where he is now? Yeah.
Yeah, Montreal. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I did see this clip at least, like of the
Okay, yeah.
of the cross check, to say the least. So yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty to say the least.
Yeah, no, it was not good at all. I'm gonna see
There was
if we have
another
to
one in
watch
LA
it,
just
yeah.
the other night. I
There
don't remember
was,
who it
yeah.
was. We
That
did
was
it like right in front of the lines.
I saw
I'm
it
like,
today.
what are
It
you
was
doing?
Lizotte, I think.
Yeah.
I saw that he got suspended. Yeah, Lizotte got banned 1 game for cross-checking on Morrissey. I didn't actually see that one, but
Yeah, he does that one like right in front of the linesman. Like just like mid play skates up to him and just like lays him out with a cross check.
yeah. So, okay, here we go. This is the I think the player safety video. I'm not going to have the audio.
Oh no, we
this
can
one,
for
but-
the player safety. These are funny. They'll bring them
Oh,
up
yeah.
on the Dangle podcast actually, and they're always
Oh, yeah.
hilarious to
All right,
listen to.
let's do it. I think I gotta
Let's do it.
stop and bring it back up if that's what we want to do. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I actually haven't seen the whole one, but it's this will be good.
They break it down to like a comedic level, I find sometimes.
Yeah. There we go. Full screen that, and hopefully we can hear it. Is that good?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Thursday night in Boston, Bruins forward AJ Greer was assessed a major penalty and a game misconduct.
Chops
Cross-checking
and then
Canadians forward
cross-check to
Mike
the face
Hoffman.
for those just listening.
As the video shows, the two set up next to each other before a face-off in the neutral zone. They exchange light stick work and then come together further as Greer takes a step towards Hoffman. Hoffman raises his stick.
I like how he's like, they exchange light stick work, and it's like trying to break the guy's stick in half and then a 2-hand slash to the other guy's hand. Anyways.
It's always the complete opposite, whatever it actually is for the NHL, right?
Yeah.
If guys are chopping at each other's sticks pretty good, oh yeah, it's light stick work. If fans, just absolutely hate Fanatics, yeah, no, there's been a great relationship with them, and they've been producing some quality stuff that fans love and give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, it's always the opposite.
Exactly. Okay, now here's the nasty cross check.
Greer's chest in a defensive manner to push him backwards. As he is doing so, Greer raises his stick above Hoffman's with 2 hands and delivers a blow that hits Hoffman directly in the face. This is cross checking.
This is my favorite part about everyone.
Yeah.
Every single one of these. This is cross-checking. This is high sticking. This is whatever.
Yeah, it's always good.
It is important to note that this is not a case of a stick directed towards the body that rides up the opponent. This cross-check is delivered cleanly to the head of Hoffman. And while we understand Greer's assertion that he does not intend to strike Hoffman in this manner, players are responsible for their stick at all times.
I didn't mean to cross-check him in the face. It just kind of happened. And
I just happened to put it at face level.
Yeah, it's not my fault. He's like 5'11" and I'm 6'10" or whatever the fuck they are.
This is a careless cross.
While we're watching this, I'll pull up the difference.
Yeah, sure.
Cross check delivered during a stoppage in play that strikes an opponent at a dangerous height with the force necessary to warrant supplemental discipline. To summarize, this is cross-checking. Greer has been neither fined nor suspended previously in his 99-game NHL career. The Department of Player Safety has suspended AJ Greer for 1 game.
Yes, 1 game for a direct cross-check to the face.
To be fair, that's better than the $5,000 as
the maximum allowable under the CBA.
Yeah, exactly. Which, fun fact, $5,000 was like the fine that you would get in the mid-90s as well. I learned the other day.
Yeah, no, so not adjusted for inflation at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So do you have the height difference up here?
I was just pulling up AJ Greer right now. So Mike Hoffman is 6 foot and Greer is 6'3".
Okay, so enough that Greer's shoulders is Hoffman's face level. So,
but still, like, you gotta obviously, Hoffman is going for your chest kind of thing. If you go over that, you're probably hitting him in the neck or the face.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to, but I just happened to put it in that spot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go over his and give him a jab. Fuck.
Yeah. So then I guess this was the following day, maybe. Mike Hoffman posted on his Instagram at mhoffy68. This was on his story. Before I bring it up for those watching, it's not like the prettiest thing to look at. So if anyone's kind of squeamish, maybe don't watch the next 30-ish seconds. It's not really blood. It's like this black like glue that they use to keep the wounds like from opening up because it's on his chin, but it's it's still kind of gross to look at. So
I'm putting this on full screen so I can see.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was what Hoffman had said, and this is I'm sharing this from Reddit. Yeah,
that is some gnarly patchwork.
Yeah, but just listen to what Hoffman has to say about this here.
So I've gotten a 2-game suspension for cross-checking a guy in the back of the helmet. A full-blown intentional cross-check to the face. 1 game.
Just calling out the player safety department there. I apologize if that was like redonkulously loud.
That was a little bit louder.
Yeah.
And Mike Hoffman has been fined $10,000 for speaking out against the NHL and the
probably.
Safety.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's not factual. I'm making a joke of that just before anybody gets that twisted.
But like
because that's how it works though with the NHL.
You never know.
Right?
Yeah, really.
If you call the NHL out, whether it's the Department of Player Safety, especially refs, if you call out anything like that, yeah, you're gonna get a pretty good smack on the wrist kind of thing. So
yeah,
in terms of a fine, but
yeah, I don't.
But God damn, we can't keep anything consistent though.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look for this video. Oh well, maybe right here. This isn't the player safety one. It's just like a video of the play. But this was Hoffman's here, just for some context as well. So this was back in 2016, like so quite a while ago, when he was playing with the Sens. And I guess I should share it here, but I'll jump ahead. It's okay. Yeah, here we go. So bottom right of the screen, you can see Hoffman here, and then Couture is the one who will receive the cross check.
The puck deep. Here's Brassard.
So yeah, I probably shouldn't have the audio on, but I won't play it. We just won't play a lot. So we'll see if they replay it here. Yes. So this one, it very much rides kind of up Dylan's stick. He kind of gets his stick in there, and then so it kind of rides up. So like he was going to cross check him in the back, which isn't fantastic anyways, but like
well, that's that's more of a shot kind of thing, right? And then rode up and back of the head. That's definitely dangerous. It definitely
for sure it warrants a suspension 100%.
Yeah, I'm not arguing the suspension or that, but he does have a point though in terms of that one was a little bit more accidental in terms of like placement and that kind of thing. Like he's not saying that he shouldn't have been suspended, right? He's just saying like, the length that I got compared to something that was straight up intentional, like this
intentional to my face.
Yeah.
And not even in the course of play. Like this is
not a face off.
Yeah. Like with Hoffman and Couture, that was in front of the net, like during play, and then it rode up to hit him in the back of the head. So yeah, 2-game suspension. Sure. I wouldn't argue with that. Hoffman's not arguing with that, but outside of the play, you guys are just, exchanging light stick work, as they put it, and then Greer cross checks you in the chin. And then doesn't ride up or anything like that. That's to me that like 1 game seems pretty low. He did get kicked out of the game, so like
I was gonna say because he got a 5 in a game and
it was like in the first period. So like
so I guess that's your second game in a way.
Yeah, but like those aren't comparable in my opinion, and like I don't know, I still think it should have been 2-3 games on top of that, but I mean, and obviously Hoffman feels that way too, but by him calling it out, like it definitely draws a little bit more attention, I guess, to the lack of consistency in the NHL in terms of player safety. So
do you know for Hoffman's suspension there if he was within that, because there's like a time period that if you've had anything before.
It was
that
no history,
impact?
no
No
history.
history or
Yeah, and there was
okay.
no injury on the play. Like pretty much identical. Like I did see clips from that like player safety breakdown. Like someone else had taken the video and put like
Yeah.
Hoffman's thing, and I don't even remember who it was. And then so it had his like Instagram story, and then like this was what the NHL had said back in 2016. This is what they said now for Greer. Like basically identical. Like they both had no history. They both like neither guy was injured and is going to miss games like on the play or because of the play kind of thing. Like they're both non-hockey plays. Like it's just like weird that that's where they went with that, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, no, props to Hoffman for calling them out, because I think there's not enough of that. I think a lot of players are scared to do that in the NHL because they could get fined, but obviously Hoffman doesn't give a shit if that happens. So
there's been a lot of players who have been either just not caring anymore or been pointing out the fact that they're going to be suspended if they say something, right? Like even down to I forget even like what it was in context too, but I remember I think it was like a month or two ago. Even Sidney Crosby like was asked about something. And he's like, "Can I even talk about that?"
Yeah,
like just I'll go with what this guy said, because if I say anything further, I'm like basically I'm gonna get suspended for it or given like a I guess not suspended, but like given like a fine for it or something like that, right? Like
get some sort of punishment. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, for Hoffman calling it out here, that's this week's a big energy move.
Yeah. For I'll give the second one here for rocking the gnarly stitch work there. Like not saying like it's bad kind of thing, but just like how it all looks because of the oddness, I guess, of the cut to his chin there. That's
a big energy move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a third one, so we'll stick with two.
Good old former Anaheim Ducks George Peros is the head of Department of Player Safety. He has been in the position since 2017.
Oh yeah, that's 6 years, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, after playing 9 seasons in the NHL.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the last thing we have to talk about for this episode is just the one upcoming game that the Ducks have, which I guess if you guys are listening to this on the Monday, then this is relevant. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, then it's not really. The Anaheim Ducks will play host to the Colorado Avalanche. 7 p.m. Pacific time is when that one starts. It's the final game of an 8-game homestand for the Anaheim Ducks. As we talked about, the Colorado Avalanche starting to get healthy just in time for playoffs and have really picked up the pace, I guess. We have no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we're recording this right now, it's currently 7 minutes left in the third period. Colorado is up. Colorado and Arizona are tied right now 2-2. And then we'll play them on Monday. So they're playing a back-to-back between Arizona and Anaheim.
Okay. Do you know who's in net right now for Colorado?
Colorado has Georgiev in net right now.
Okay, so we'll see the backup, who is... I don't remember.
Johansson.
Yes. Okay.
So
okay. Yeah. We have played Colorado once this season, which was a 5-3 win for the Anaheim Ducks. That was the middle of our 3-game win streak there, where we beat Arizona 5-2, then Colorado 5-3, and then Arizona again 2-1. And then I think maybe got a point against Dallas in overtime and then beat Chicago. So that was like game 2 of a 5-game point streak, if I'm remembering that Dallas game correctly.
Yeah. Do remember in the context of that Colorado game, though, that was when the Avalanche were pretty depleted. Like half their lineup was like box guys in AHL. Like they were hurting kind of thing. And they still gave a pretty good fight against the Ducks. So
yeah, exactly.
They're currently 8-2-0 in their last 10 until this game in Arizona finishes.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, they are 22, 11, and 1.
Damn.
So sitting third in the Central Division, 90 points, 42 wins, 23 losses, and 6 overtime losses in 71 games.
Yeah, so not looking too promising for the Ducks, considering the lack of effort that we've seen the last couple of games.
Yeah.
But do you have a score prediction for this one here?
The Ducks also weirdly like to play up to these types of teams and play down to the teams that, are actually at their level. I think at this point,
Yeah.
Kind of odd there, but I still feel like this is going to go Colorado's way. They're, not taking their foot off the pedal at all either. They got a Stanley Cup to defend. They're trying to go into the playoffs. Like a Little Caesars pizza, hot and ready. I'm
not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 5. I said 5-2 last time. I'm gonna go with still 5-2 for Colorado though.
Okay.
Man, I was wrong though on the St. Louis one. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, we were not close.
I got close though on the Winnipeg game. I was only a goal
4-2. Yeah. I was not close. 7-2. I was very pessimistic. On this one, I'm gonna say. But do I go 5-1 or 6-1? That's where I kind of am on this one.
Go 6.
Why?
Just do it.
All right.
Why not?
Fork it. If St. Louis can score 6, then why can't we score 6 against Colorado, right?
Exactly. Nathan McKinnon's going to put up a hat trick.
No, I'm saying 6-1 Anaheim.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
What? Okay.
just like the shock on your face was like, do I need to like drive him to the hospital? Is he okay? Have you suffered any recent blows to the head?
Yeah, you need to set me against the wall, get me a blanket, treat me for shock.
Yeah.
What are the steps, Carter? remember your first aid training.
I'm not predicting 6-1. There's could it happen? Yes, it could. Is it likely? Very much not. No. So yeah, it would be nuts. So yeah, 6-1 Colorado. Even on the second half of a back-to-back, I think. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Quack Report. Thank you to everybody who tuned in for this one. I guess if people want to.
If people want to send me your cute dog pictures, you can tweet them at me at Tatenamas, TATENHOMAS. And I, in turn, will share those pictures with a group chat that I have that is, it's called Unsolicited Dog Pics.
Nice.
So I will, in turn, share those with my friends as well, who we just share dog pictures in. So
wonderful. Yeah. And if you have pictures of your dog in, just Ducks merch or any kind of merch, just a cute dog photo, feel free to tag us in it at Quack Report Pod, and I'm sure it'll warrant a retweet, especially if they're in some Ducks stuff. So yeah. If not, you can always just send it to us at Quack Report Pod on all of the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We will be live streaming on YouTube and Twitch, as well as the other platforms at Quack Report Pod on Wednesday evening. And yeah, if you want to reach out to myself and send me dog pics as well. I'm not in a unsolicited dog pics group chat, but my girlfriend is obsessed with dogs, so I will be sure to share them with her and, return her comments to your dog, and then you can, or to you, to then say to your dog, and then just, make them feel good.
Yeah.
Make them feel loved by random people on the internet that they've never met before. So at Carter, at Carter _Potts, POTTS _97 is where you can do that. And yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Again, we'll be back Wednesday for a live stream, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks for listening, and go Ducks go.